What is going on, everybody? My name is Ciara Lawler. Welcome back to another week of Hero or Zero. This is the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again talking one comic book character, as we do every single week. We talk their good points and their bad points, and we generally just give you a bit of a rundown of everything to do with that character. As always, I am joined by my partner in crime, Mr. Shaun Meehan. Shaun, how's it going?
I am good, Connor. Do you want to do that intro again? Because you did say Movie Mondays, to be fair.
Did I?
Yeah, you did.
No! It has happened in so long.
Sorry, actually, you didn't. You did a flawless intro, my dude. I've pulled a jape on you, is what I've just done there.
The classic jape.
It's an oldie but a goodie. What can I say?
Look, you know there's no edits in this show, so I'm just going to power on.
We were just going to roll with that and just like, fine, whatever. But now you're unsure for the rest of the year.
Now it's a classic jape. Am I going to get japed again?
See, it's the best kind of jape because no one really got hurt, you know? It's just...
Well, my bit of shithousery.
Sorry.
It's not great.
Let me say that again. No one important got hurt. So.
There you go. That's my mother would agree. So, Shaun, this is Hero or Zero, and as I said, we talk one comic book character. Now, you normally talk Marvel characters. I normally talk DC characters. Before we get into it this week, I really want to let people know two things. One, this week we watched the worst movie that has ever existed in the whole world.
Oh, yeah, Patreon. We did.
We watched Wild Mountain Thyme, which includes Emily Blunt and have you heard of Christopher Walken? Whoever that guy is?
Famously Irish actors
doing Irish accents.
Doing Irish. Well, can you call them doing accents? I would say.
I don't think Christopher Walken even does his own accent. Like, his own accent is weird. So imagine him doing an Irish accent.
But I think he's made a career off of the Walken accent. But the Irish accent is doing him no favours.
And so it's the worst movie I think we've both ever seen. We
genuinely horrible.
Over on the Patreon. And also, if you can give this episode a like and a review, whatever you're listening to it on, that would really help us out. But Shaun, enough about that stuff, because it's time to get into this week's character that I've chosen. And he's a good one. What if I said to you, I have a character who is top 3, probably the third smartest human being in the DC universe.
Okay.
He's in the top 10 fighters in the DC universe, I would say, or athletes in general. And also, he is DC's version of Taskmaster, but he doesn't forget anything.
Fuck off. That's a broken character is what that is. That's a character who gets like Professor X'd in most of his encounters, I would say.
He's a character that has so much potential and just coolness in terms of, like, you could go so many different ways with this character, with all these abilities. A bit underwritten for my liking. I mean, he's had a few runs, but a lot of his series are cancelled after like 10 issues, which kind of annoys me. And he's seen as a bit of a more team player, because this week I am doing Mr. Terrific, Shaun.
Okay. A character with great powers, but a terrible, terrible name in terms of comic books.
He is Mr. Terrific. Now, his name doesn't actually come from him, because Mr. was a Mr. Terrific before. And he was played by a man named Terry Sloan, who was the Golden Age Mr. Terrific.
Oh, okay, so like old school comics.
Yeah, so he actually plays a part in the origin of new Mr. Terrific. Now, if you've seen Mr. Terrific, he's in Arrow, played by Echo Kellum, I think the actor's name is. They did this weird thing where they made him real smart, but took away a lot of the cool things that he does as well from comic books, because Mr. Terrific's also an absolute badass when it comes to fighting.
Okay, this might have been this might have been after I dropped off of Arrow.
I think it's like season 6.
I was long gone.
You've probably seen Mr. Terrific. He's got the T on his face, like the T mask.
I've seen this dude. He's in the animated series, isn't he?
He is, Justice League Unlimited. He's the guy in the Watchtower.
Yes, I know him. Oh man, what a weird character.
He is, but also, as I said, the third smartest character in all of DC.
And to have that, And to have that with top 10 fighters as well, that's like busted, right?
That, and also the Taskmaster ability to remember anything.
Yeah,
and to just learn anything at a moment's notice.
But to not have the short-term memory loss the Taskmaster has.
Yes. And so Michael Holt is his name. He isn't simply gifted, Shaun. He's extremely special. He learned the theory of time and space continuum and read and assimilated the works of Albert Einstein and several other genius human beings by the age of 6 years old.
Jesus.
Though things for him have never been fair, a child prodigy, he has an astronomical IQ and is also a natural athlete. So much of an natural athlete, he's actually won an Olympic gold medal for the decathlon as well.
The one with 10 sports in it.
That's a lot of sports. That's why he's a freak athlete as well.
That's really interesting, because a lot of the time we, like the human-powered superheroes, like who are just humans, we often compare them to Olympic athletes.
Yeah.
But this dude is actually like an Olympian.
Let me throw something to you. This is a character, by the way, that it's so funny that he's not as famous or as big as he probably should be, because Michael has 14 doctorates and degrees. He's also an Olympic decathlete and a self-made millionaire. Or billionaire, whoever you ask.
No way this man has enough time to do all of those things.
So, considering, I mean, what happened with Michael was a pretty big deal, because growing up, he also had an older brother called Jeffrey, and Jeffrey passed away at the age of 15. This set Michael on, he's going to be the greatest version of him that he wanted to be. He's going to set off, he's going to I'm going to do everything in honour of Jeffrey.
Okay.
And so that's why and obviously he started off as a genius anyway. So he's like, I'm going to also become Olympic level self-made billionaire.
I'm going to be the best human billionaire that there can be. And then Bruce Wayne just rocks up. And it's like, I took all your toys.
So even these accomplishments garnering him a small fortune, his greatest moment though, in his whole life, was when he married his wife Paula. As she gave him purpose for living from all this, Shaun.
Oh, isn't that sweet? Connor, before you continue.
No, it's sweet.
No, I need you to guarantee me that nothing bad will ever happen to Paula. I need that locked in right now.
What are the circumstances of nothing bad? That's a very vague statement.
Nothing to cause unhappiness in either Paula or Mr. Terrific.
All right. But to be honest with you now, there's 3 sentences, and the third one starts with considering suicide.
Oh God. Oh Jesus. Fuck.
Him and Paula.
Well, let's see where this goes, boys.
this could go up. There's still hope. It's still good. Him and Paula are loving life. They're very happy.
Yeah.
Paula then announces that she's pregnant. Oh, sure.
A blessing. Excellent news, folks.
An absolute blessing. But one night, Shaun, him and Paula have a massive argument.
Oh, no.
And Paula goes out for a drive. And she dies in a car accident, Shaun. He lost her and his unborn child in the same accident.
God.
That didn't really go well, did it?
I mean, you promised me, Connor.
I didn't promise anything, to be honest.
You gave me your word as a friend that you would never make me sad. And here I am.
You know that. Considering suicide, Michael contemplated his life. He was then approached by the Spectre, the spirit of divine vengeance. Now, the Spectre in DC is like one of the most powerful beings of all time. And he's basically a spirit. And he told Michael Holt about a man named Terry Sloan, who was the Golden Age Mr. Terrific. And Terry Sloan and Michael, they were very similar, just in terms of Terry Sloan had a mantra of like trying to always do his best. He was also a genius. He was also a natural athlete. He was a hero back in the day. And he was known as Mr. Terrific. And he was inspired by Terry's similar natural gifts at origin. Michael decided to take up his mantle, and he realised that though he was a prodigy, it was Paula and Jeffrey who were his role models. So his brother and his dead wife were his role models, Shaun. So he was going to try and do everything for them now.
Jesus, this dude just seems really nice.
In their memory, he turned his anger and sadness into resolve. If life wasn't fair for everyone else, he'd make it fair, or do his best he could.
Do you know what? He's just nicer Batman, isn't he?
Yes.
He's just a much nicer version of Batman.
So he was created in June 1997, so he's actually been around for a few years in comic book version. In comic book age, I should say. So he was created as a grounded street hero in his introduction, and his costume consisted of normal clothes, basically, and he relied on his own wits and physical abilities, much as his predecessor did. Changes, however, were quickly made with the character after his appearances. He soon appeared in the new JSA series, which is the Justice Society of America, who were the first Justice League, and a whole different group of superheroes. And he had a very different costume, and some of the elements of the character were reworked. So he, under the writing of David Goyer and Jeff Johns, two very famous people now, but back in the day they were writing for the comic books, the character developed in more substantial ways away from his original concept. He debuted a sudden new, and this is the one that I don't agree with. He had a metahuman abilities to be invisible to technology for a short period.
Right.
They've since changed that, so you know the T on his face?
Yeah.
That is made of nanobots that hide him from every camera on Earth.
That's
much
much cooler.
They mask his face.
That's
much cooler idea.
Because presumably that's something he developed.
He's made that. So I think originally they were like, oh, he's invisible to technology because he's does his own thing. And then as it went on and developed, they were like, wait, no, he's much cooler if he develops the technology to hide his face.
Was this around the time that they really pushed the metahuman stuff? And they were just trying to add metahumans to the roster.
It's a little bit after that, but it is still a time when they were trying to just make him more interesting. Because at that point, as you said, he's just nice Batman. And they're like, well, what makes him stand out?
Okay.
So he becomes basically a genius with technology, and he's so technologically orientated, he introduces a thing called the T-spheres, which are one of the most important aspects of this character.
Okay.
T-spheres are his own technological invention. They're like flying little balls, and they basically do whatever the story wants them to do that regard.
Okay, and I might be out of line here. Have you seen Big Hero 6?
To basically, they're not made of nanobots, so they can't form things, but he's invented the T-sphere. I'm going to try to describe the T-sphere to you, Shaun.
Okay.
Because it is literally ex machina object. It's an artificially intelligent miniature device that he controls with his mask and his earpieces. The T-spheres can fly, create holographic images, project beams of light, release electrical charges, hack into computers and GPS satellites, and constantly cloak hold against detection and the recording of his images by any and all technological non-organic means, basically making him virtually invisible to anything but human line of sight.
So this is the same power that they gave him as a quote-unquote metahuman ability, but now it's attributed to him being a genius and making this essentially magical technology. Much
more interesting, I would say.
It's much more, because now it's off of his own back that he can do this. It's not just something he's gifted with.
In the past, he's used them for infiltration, espionage, information retrieval and storage. He can often multitask his T-spheres to all go off in different directions at once to do 50 different things at once.
That's cool.
He can use his T-spheres offensively as projectiles, as he can instantly accelerate them to 14 miles per second,
Jesus
which is
Christ.
50,000 miles per hour.
That's too fast.
So when it hits people, obviously it would just you're dead.
It's kind of similar to, there was a run in Spider-Man comics called Superior Spider-Man, where Dr. Octopus took over the Spider-Man mantle in Peter Parker's body. But he just set off spider drones around the city, and they would like similar to that, because he realised I can only cover like one block at a time effectively. So I'll just send the drones around, and if they see someone, I don't know, doing a mugging, they'll just shoot him with a projectile and web him to the wall.
He can also, by the way, fly on them. If he stands on them, he can fly on them.
Yeah, they couldn't do that in Spider-Man.
So while in costume, Mr. Terrific has no fewer than 3 T-spheres orbiting his body at all times, and he has had as many as 10 constantly orbiting it. As I said, he is considered the 3rd smartest man alive in DC.
Who's he behind in that?
I think it's Lex Luthor and Ray Palmer. Maybe Ray Palmer and Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor is definitely top 3.
Right.
I don't know. The third one kind of gets thrown around. I think Batman gets thrown in there willy-nilly, but I don't think Batman is as smart as Lex Luthor and Mr. Terrific.
I think
Batman's more well-rounded. So Batman's obviously, he has strengths in loads of different areas.
Yeah, but if you're specialising into like engineering, it's probably not Batman in that
Bruce
case.
Wayne probably gets other people to build that stuff.
Yeah, he gets a Lucius Fox or something like that.
Exactly. Whereas I think probably Lex Luthor and maybe Ray Palmer. I would probably come down on Ray Palmer, who's the Atom.
Right.
And then you have Mr. Terrific as well. So, yeah. What happens here is that they brought him in, they changed all of his story, and he was basically seen as like a rising star in the superhero community because they added him in to the JSA. And so he was thrown into the JSA series, and he was seen as like the next big thing because he's like, this guy's really cool.
Yeah.
And everyone liked what Jeff Johns and David Goyer had done with him. And so during a conflict over the leadership of the Justice Society of America, Hawkman and the current chairman Sand fell out. Mr. Terrific was elected as the new chairman of the JSA within like the first 2 years of basically coming into the comic book.
So now he's like top of one of the biggest superhero teams there has ever been.
Despite not actively even seeking the office, they just wanted him as the leader because he was the best for the job. Mr. Terrific was also part of the team assembled by Batman for an attack on the Brother Eye satellite, which was controlling a bunch of robots on Earth.
Cool. Love it.
And so Batman assembled all of the smartest people on the planet to try and take this down.
To shut it down.
And he brought in Mr. Terrific. And he also Mr. Terrific was the critical role in how they beat Brother Eye the satellite, because he was invisible to technology, which allowed him to reach the satellite system, sending it crashing to Earth.
Jesus. So Batman even like recognises this dude as like, no, he is incredibly capable and useful. Yeah,
like none of us can take down Brother Eye. Like Superman's fucked, Wonder Woman's fucked. We need Mr. Terrific. He's invisible to technology. Because
when Batman decides to Batman does not work on a team generally. So when he decides to put one together and he picks you, it's like the ultimate like, oh no, this dude knows his shit.
Not only that, Mr. Terrific has leadership for JSA, so the Justice Society of America, he's been a leader. He also has a permanent Justice League acceptance, so he's in the Justice League. He's also had his own team with the Terrifics, I think they were, and he's also been a part of Batman's The Outsiders. So Batman has brought him in to multiple teams.
Jesus Christ. Okay. So this dude gets around for someone I've never heard about.
He's all over the place, and like in Justice League Unlimited, he's the guy in the chair. He's the brains that runs the whole team.
That's insane, man. I like this dude already.
So he's also actually been the leader of Checkmate, which is a spy society in the DC universe. He's been the leader of that along with Amanda Waller and a whole bunch of other people. And after Superman, Batman and Wonder Woman began discussing to reform the Justice League at one point, this is like in the early 2000s. In regards to Mr. Terrific as a potential member, Batman said, I think we can get him. Wonder Woman reminded Batman of Terrific's position as leadership in the JSA, but Batman insisted, that doesn't matter. We need to get him.
He needs to be on the team.
He needs to be on the team. I need him. I need the brains of my team. Because Batman's always thinking strategically. So, shortly after, Mr. Terrific went to the Gotham General Hospital along with Dr. Midnight. And this is probably my favourite thing about Mr. Terrific. I really is going to settle this whole report, is that this really gets across the Taskmaster thing. So he goes to the hospital with Dr. Midnight, and Selina Kyle has been attacked by Hush, and she's been she's had her heart removed from her body by Hush in the comic books. Okay? She's dead. After Batman recovered her heart, he informed Michael about the technology used to keep the heart living outside the body. And after retrieving the heart, Michael Holt read books on how to do the surgery and then proceeded to place Selina's heart back in her body, having read how to do it 20 minutes before the surgery began. The surgery was a success, and they got Selina back alive due to Michael Holt doing the surgery.
What the fuck? He put her heart back in someone after reading a book, like, just beforehand.
He's that smart.
And, but that's not just like remembering something. Like, he needs the dexterity to do that and everything like that.
Like, Batman wouldn't trust himself to do that, but he gave Selina Kyle's heart. Think of Selina Kyle's heart to Mr. Terrific, and he's like, "You save her." And Mr. Terrific's like, "I don't know how to do a heart surgery." Well, fucking figure it out in the next 20 minutes. We're about to do it. That's
insane.
Now, Dr. Midnight was also there, but I think like Michael Holt did most of the surgery, so that's pretty cool. Few bits of trivia about Michael Holt. He's a self-made multi-millionaire. Before becoming a superhero, he founded a company called Cyberware, later renamed Holt Holdings. He has since sold that company to Wayne Tech. Holt is an avid atheist. Although well aware and having witnessed much of the mystical nature of the DC universe firsthand, I mean, the Spectre brought him in, he cites scientific and rational explanations for all of it. He describes souls as unique energy that could quantify as a telepathic discharge upon death. Very scientific man.
Not a romantic. There's always an explanation with him.
The only form of electronic detection that has proven able to monitor Mr. Terrific is the android Red Tornado. For some reason, Red Tornado can see him, the superhero.
Okay,
nobody knows why.
Convenient for the story, I imagine.
His identity is also publicly known.
So he's like head of this company, or he was head of this company, and people also knew he was like, he does crime fighting in his spare time.
Yeah, and so powers and abilities, obviously peak human conditioning, peak human strength and endurance. He was able to even survive at Arctic temperatures with 2 broken ribs.
That's impressive. I've done
that. His strength is superior to any normal human. His agility is pushed to the very limit of human capability, and his reflexes are heightened to the peak of human potential. So his reflexes are as good as Catwoman's and Nightwing's. And agility.
Jesus, that's insane. That's actually busted for such a genius, photographic memory monster that he is.
Holt is also a natural-born athlete, of course. He's got a gold medal. He's a businessman. He's a billionaire CEO of Holt Industries. He's also an engineer, an inventor, an industrialist, and a scientist. So he's also got a black belt in 6 different forms of martial arts disciplines.
Fuck.
And he was able to defeat the Tomorrow Thief without his T-spheres in Arctic temperatures with the 2 broken ribs, defeating him just using his agility and his chemistry knowledge. That was it. He knows every language on Earth, basically.
Fuck off.
He can speak every language. He's also a polymath. Holds a polymath who has specialised in multiple fields. He, as I said, 14 PhDs, 2 of which are engineering and physics, doctorates, masters. He's got a master's degree in chemistry, engineering, law, medicine, political science, psychology, and science.
He's just like the perfect human.
Yeah, and his T-mask, as I said, is able to scan things. It's able to protect his own face. It's like a whole computer in upon itself, just on his face.
It's like an Iron Man helmet. but like
Yeah.
can do whatever he needs it to do.
Yeah, and then the T-spheres, I mean, as I said, I try to get into how powerful they are, but like they literally do anything. This man could basically defeat the whole of the DC if he wanted to, but he's just too nice.
He's just too nice a man. And like I assume, even if someone was annoying him and he could defeat them easily, but he knew, if I leave Red Hood alive, crime will go down. He can see the big picture is what I'm trying to say.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. And I think he's just possibly he's probably the best human in DC, which is weird when Batman is there. But
yeah, and like physically Batman is like probably one of the peak humans on the planet, but like in terms of emotional stableness, it's probably not that solid.
Well, he had his wife and his unborn child die, and his brother die, and he used that to basically try to better the world.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm going to use that as inspiration.
He took it on the chin, and he was just like, okay, I'll make a better world in their name. Whereas Batman is just like, I will eradicate evil with vengeance.
That's my report on Mr. Terrific.
That's a really, really, really cool character. That you're right, he is not talked about enough for like how powerful he is.
No. So Shaun, do you want to take us out there?
Yes, thank you everyone for listening to this episode of Hero or Zero. We will be back Monday with Movie Mondays, Wednesday with Weird News Wednesday, and next Friday with another episode of Hero or Zero. Big thanks to everyone who supports us over on the Patreon, patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast. As always, if you do want to support us over there, you get the Wild Mountain Time review, you get all of the other reviews we've ever done. You also get a shout out on the Monday and Wednesday shows, so head on over, take a look, support if you want, we'd really appreciate it. You can also follow the Twitter at Heroes for Hire Pod, the 4 is the number 4. Facebook is Detective Divilment's discussion group, Instagram is Heroes for Hire podcast. But the best way to ever help out the show is to tell one human being that we exist.
Just a one, please.
And I think that's about it, Conor.
So I've been Ciara Lawler.
I've been Shaun Bean.
I shall see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.